Well, something big is happening at the White House right now and in the Trump administration. The purge is on. Did you know that Deatheater Bill Gates had secret people or plants hidden inside the federal government pushing his vaccine agenda, among other things? I mean, all sorts of programs that he was involved with. Oh, yes, from getting rid of meat to mass vaccination of children's programs in sub-Saharan Africa. Well, that
Can I just stop you here? We can edit this out later. Somebody said, "Happy birthday, Natalie Moore, hair dye." I don't color my hair. I just had to. I had to respond to that. I don't do that. So take that back. You hurt my feelings. Other than that, I can handle the aging, but don't accuse me of things I have not done.
She cannot handle hair dye. She's like, God, that's such a bad hair dye job. When she can't handle it. All right, so no hair dye.
No, I don't do that.
All right.
Sorry.
All right, let's start over, shall we? Well, something big is happening at the White House right now. The purge is on. Did you know that Deatheater Bill Gates had secret people or plants hidden in the government pushing his vaccine agenda, from literally everything from like mosquitoes, manipulation of mosquitoes, to getting rid of meat, so you'll eat his fake meat product, to mass vaccination programs on children? Well, that appears to be coming to an end. At least maybe it's coming to an end. So a stunning political purge that sent shockwaves through Washington this morning. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been firing dozens of Bill Gates connected operatives from key federal health agencies, including the CDC, HHS, NIH. And according to multiple reports, this is nothing short of like a scorched earth policy coming from insiders at HHS, basically to dismantle what Robert Kennedy believes is a corrupt biomedical regime that has operated unchecked for years inside of the federal government, all under the influence of billionaire and Epstein buddy Bill Gates. So among the first to fall is this lady, CDC Director Susan Monarez, who was reportedly fired after being identified as a collaborator in what a lot of people are saying was a long-standing vaccine cabal inside the government. In total, 5 top CDC officials are now out, and the purge is expected to continue. This was just the first purging. So, you know, these like termites are like running for cover right now. These cockroaches are running for cover right now. Hans Menke described it perfectly, though. Monarez was Assistant Director of National Security and International Affairs in the Executive Office of President Obama. It might sound harsh, but I wouldn't hire anyone who worked in Obama's White House. Why take the risk? And I know Laura Loomer had been calling out these people for a while. Like, why is President Trump why are you putting these people in here who are not on your side? These like Obama era people, Biden era people in positions of real power here inside the government. Like, this was a problem. Others have been calling this out as well. And so now, at least finally, people are paying attention to these people. I think about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago on the show, we covered, about a year ago, because Trump wasn't nominated yet, or the nominee at that point. But the people that were burrowing in, do you remember?
Yes.
So they were all of these Biden era and Obama era people that were going to be burrowing into the administration and, staying inside of the Trump administration. So anyway, looks like they're finally getting a handle on this. So this is funny, though, because apparently she was told to resign, but she wouldn't do it. Like, she was going to do it, then she's not going to do it. And then she was defying Secretary Kennedy's direct orders to fire swamp monsters who were big pharma swamp monsters that Kennedy was like asking her to fire, according to these reports. She wouldn't listen to her boss. I mean, that's like insubordination. So Trump fired her, by all accounts, but not so fast, because then she hired a powerful law firm in Washington, D.C., and her lawyer says that she's not been fired. This is crazy. Lowell and I represent Director Susan Monarez. Contrary to government statements, Dr. Monarez has neither resigned nor yet been fired. We have issued the following statement. First, it was independent advisory committees and career experts. Then it was the dismissal of seasoned scientists. Now, Secretary Kennedy and his HHS have set their sights on weaponizing public health for political gain and putting millions of American lives at risk. Right, okay. What about the millions of people that lost their lives as a result of the big pharma boondoggle? No mention of that.
Is this socialism? You can just not fire people? You don't have
like they're just like, I'm not leaving. It's like the guy from the movie Office Space, where he just like he doesn't have a job, but he just keeps showing up to work, and he's like, I was told that I could listen to music at a reasonable volume. And he's like in the basement with a pencil, with a stapler.
Well, this statement is crazy because it's saying that she refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives. Have you seen, I've spent the last 3 years going over what the lack of pharmaceutical trials for pretty much every new medicine to hit the market here on this show. And it has been nothing but reckless, the CDC, in the last at least 3 years since I've been doing Redacted. So that's crazy. I mean, rewind the tape, you guys, how they approved RSV vaccines for infants with the warning, don't give it to an infant if your infant's allergic to it.
COVID shots for pregnant women with no trials on pregnant women, no testing on pregnant women.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Philip or David.
I want to know what material their stamps were made out of going through all of that. Did they just now switched over to rubber and that's what she's refusing? Because it sure seems like they were doing rubber stamping on an awful lot of vaccines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while Gates operatives, though, are being escorted out of the building, though, Bill Gates himself was being, escorted into the White House last night for dinner with President Trump. You can't make this up. No press, no visitor logs, no photos were allowed. Yes, the close friend of Jeffrey Epstein and vaccine pusher on unwitting Africans met with President Trump in a closed-door session that reportedly lasted 3 hours. Again, no press allowed, no photos allowed. Then on the very same day, the FDA quietly revoked emergency use authorization for mRNA COVID shots, only to then reauthorize them for infants as young as 6 months and the broader at-risk population. So in one afternoon, they pull it, then put it back. What the hell is going on here? The timing is no coincidence. And Secretary Kennedy said this: I promised 4 things: to end COVID mandates, to keep vaccines available to people who want them, demand placebo-controlled trials from companies, and to end the emergency.
Okay, but these things are contradictory, and I wrote this out in the newsletter if you'd like to refer to it, because he's saying I'm ending emergency use for the broader population, but the FDA issued an approval for people who are 65 or over with a pre-existing condition. Now, Pfizer wrote this in their press release about it. They're saying that the COVID vaccine from Pfizer was approved based on listen to it, this is how they do a slide of words, based on the, quote, cumulative body of evidence supporting the safety and efficacy of the Pfizer COVID vaccine, including clinical trial data supporting the approval for children 5 through 11 years of age. Now, see what they did there? It's not based on clinical trials, which he just promised in that tweet. It's based on the idea of a clinical trial, not a direct clinical trial. So in the same tweet, he's saying, I'm revoking this for the general population. I'm putting full authorization for these populations, but they are not, I repeat, not based on clinical trials. They're based on the cumulative body of evidence. So they're just like pulling pages out of a book and sticking it together and saying, this is good. This is what we can use. That's not what we were promised, and you know it.
Yeah.
You know it.
So again, Bill Gates in the White House, these weird approvals coming through. I don't know. We'll see exactly what happens, but we'll be watching that story.
Indeed.